what would I do differently if I was raising kids today? First and foremost, we should never ever try to be perfect, because perfection is not attainable. And keep that in the back of your mind. That is a very, very important rule. Welcome to Nikki Talks. And I took this opportunity today to sit down and have a chat with you guys out there who are looking for options, ideas, thoughts, feedbacks on rearing children. I have 4 children. They're adults. My eldest is 29, Wyatt. My second child, or an adult, if you may, is Wesley. He's 25. And Waylon, 24, and my daughter, Ren. She's 21. And I'm very proud of who they are today. However, when I see people struggling out there and a lot of questions and looking for feedback and input on how to raise children, I reflect on myself and I said, hey, you know what? I believe I could help and contribute because I'm very proud of my kids. I am pretty confident about the decisions they made. Now, they're not perfect, going back to that rule, because I'm not perfect. No one man is perfect. So keep that in mind. But I feel pretty confident that when they're making decisions, they do make sound decisions and they have good rationales for the decisions they've made. And you know what? I think that's a very great attribute to start with. So let's start there. And I believe each and every one of us as parents do impact our children, whether it's negative or positive. But I truly believe I had a tremendous positive impact on my children. And I want to share the strategies I've used. Now, a lot of it is common sense. I wouldn't say I've used any specific strategy that I see out there today, and there's a lot of pressure out there on parents today. So I'm going to share with you my strategies, my feedback. We might be able to get some reactions later on in some channels, but I just definitely want to give you guys a real feedback and a real life person, very generic, very much that hopefully relatable. And I'd love to hear from you, to hear how you feel about the things I've said. But I want to start off with making it very, very sure that you understand that we are not perfect. You are not perfect. I was not perfect. I have made mistakes, but I have also lived long enough to see what works, and I want to share that with you. I want to talk about the fact that I'm not here to sell you anything. I'm here and committed to make a difference. I'm here and committed to share my personal experience with my children. Some things that worked and some that didn't. But it's very important to know that we should never ever try to seek approval from our children. We're not trying to be their friends. They're looking to us as their protector. They can trust us. They need to trust us more than anything, because guess what? You're the first person that they know in their lives, and what you impart to them to know that you can trust them and they can trust you, that relationship will take you very, very far. So it's very, very important that you are able to build a trusting relationship with your children. So you ask, what's the importance of this trust? Well, I'm here to share that trust builds confidence. They know that parent is going to be there for them. They feel empowered because they know that they're loved and you are looking out for their best interest. That is important. It is going to go a long way. Now, trusting starts from the moment you know or have decided that you're going to have a child. You're going to have to start to work on yourself to be able to relay that ability to convey trust. We communicate in different ways. We communicate verbally, and there's plenty of nonverbal communication. In fact, I would bet to say that a nonverbal impact is more powerful than a verbal one. So again, it starts early. But it doesn't necessarily mean that if you didn't get it early, you can't correct it. I just want to make sure that I impress upon you that that is not going to be the case. Your course can always change. Okay, we have children at different stages of development. So I do understand that. But I'm also talking from the standpoint of someone who's thinking about having children. It's very important that you recognize that now it's a transition and you have to think differently. For those of us who have the child, okay, there are different ways of managing where you are right now. And we're going to go through that on different levels as we go through these talks. So very important that trusting is imperative, that you develop it right away. And you have to start working on yourself to start that trusting relationship. So how do we start trust? Well, for those of us who already have children, it helps to be consistent. Consistency is key. It helps children to feel safe. It also helps children to guide them and make them feel that there is someone in charge. It gives them a sense of security that leads to feeling loved and cherished. Just think of yourself if you were in the forest. And would you like to be with someone who have absolutely no clue what it's like to be in a very, very dangerous environment? There are predators out there, and someone who is able to navigate that environment is going to make you feel more trusting and a sense of security and feel less endangered than maybe someone who has never been in that environment. So a child coming into this world is a clean slate. It's a blank slate. We're there to guide, protect, and teach them. And trusting is very imperative for the development of that child. So let's start there. Let's start with, how do we start to make children feel safe? Trust goes a long way. And action leads to a lot of security. Now, what does trust feel like? It's calm, it's confident, it's feeling that the person is in control and is not being controlled. So we have to learn how to check our emotions. We have to imagine if we were on the opposite end, looking at a parent that is totally out of control, yelling, screaming at the top of their lungs, and the child being smaller and this very angry person is coming at them. I would say that's very intimidating. So from that perspective, we need to understand that children need calm, soothing, strong, reinforcing, confident way of speaking. So these are some of the things we need to know and think about. It's like putting yourself into that child's perspective. Keep that in mind when you are thinking and being around, or when you're thinking of having a child or being around a child. Children, it's not necessarily important to intimidate, but you have to be strong, you have to be confident, and you have to speak in a tone to show that you have the authority. And that gives them confidence, and they can trust that what you're saying is right. If you're watching this video and you feel like you connect with me and some of the things I'm saying, I truly like for you to subscribe and follow me so that you'll be able to hear more of this. I'm here to build confidence. It's not that hard. It's just that everyone makes it so difficult. Children, they don't come into the world with a book, how to do book and what to say book. We don't have that. So we have to listen to each other and the people who have been through this experience and share what works and what doesn't. And that's what we're here to do. Not just me, but I would love the community to pitch in and to share their experience, what works and what doesn't. And I'll be doing plenty of that on this channel. You will learn about mistakes that have been made. You will learn about what I did right and what could work for you. It will help for you to be able to communicate with us about the things that you're doing and need help with. And it will allow you to be able to be open, because that's what this is about. It's raising your child knowing a community is here as resource to help you.